I made a boo-boo. I'm here by myself. It's unusual for an intro. So I was editing all this and putting this all together, and at the last minute I realized I didn't have an intro for the Gator Twins Mama video with Kyle. And I have to make one by myself. He gave me the go-ahead to just do it. We could have squeezed it in, maybe, but we decided that instead of risking a delayed video, that we would do it on time, and I would be by my dumb, lonesome self. So, what you're getting ready to see is, you're getting ready to see Kyle sketch and illustrate Mama, the third character card for our World Gator Twins. And then you're going to see me flesh out the music. This time I use a little bit of a different instrument selection, so that'll be kind of unique to this project this time around. And you'll learn our approach to both of these, from both of these aspects for this character, Mama. Hope you enjoy. Don't worry, Kyle's in the video, just not in the intro. Hey, buddy, old pal.
What's up, man?
Hey, man. I noticed that we're working on a Mama.
Ooh.
Didn't mean to make you rough.
Turned into a dog.
Yeah. So we got you on screen here that we're currently not looking at.
Right.
Sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. Right now we aren't. But so you're working on Mama here, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was your inspiration for Mama?
So you actually helped me a lot with getting inspiration for Mama because she was kind of like an idea that you had to add to the universe. And one thing that you had mentioned was like these things called rock golems from the D&D universe. And so I just like kind of looked up a bunch of those. And one of the elements that we liked of those things was kind of the ones that looked, they had a magical element to how their anatomy was, where it was like their hands and feet were their hands and feet, but they weren't necessarily attached to them. So that was kind of like the inspiration that was the rock golems of the D&D universe that we pulled over.
I'm digging that because, yeah, that is definitely, I remember talking to you about that, and that's definitely something that I just kind of wanted to have a female energy in the storyline,
Yeah.
but then give it an unstereotypical presence,
Right.
You know, to where it is this hulking looking beast thing.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily hideous, but also not too soft.
Yeah, it's just a gentle giant necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And then it's just really drawn to taking care of these Gator Twins. So perfect. Now, what about the tool set this time around? Was there anything about having the floating limbs or anything of that nature that made it more or less difficult? What was some of the things here? Perspective? I don't know. What was the different things that you had to go through here?
No, so I mean, the real, I guess, different thing that I brought to the table wasn't necessarily any sort of anatomy or perspective. Was just trying to make it feel like not just a pile of rocks, like make it feel like a character, make it feel really nature-based. So adding the little elements to it, like finding a way to make it look like, you know, that Mama wearing an apron, but the apron is kind of like a tree root system and that's got vines on it and stuff, giving her that kind of like nature quality, but also have the sort of feminine flower at the top of her head that's there to kind of make her, you know, look like Mama.
Okay. No, I'm getting you. So they didn't present anything to where you had to use maybe a different set of tools or anything for this kind of occasion. Just sketching and working at this. Okay.
Just working at different ideas or different, I guess, stylistic choices. Not really anything nuts and bolts wise.
Okay. And so that leads me to the execution. Was there anything difficult about executing this, or was it kind of just once you got to this step of the project, were you pretty much in your groove?
So the one thing that I did kind of like struggle with was making it look like a rock and not just kind of like a muddled mass of gray. And so trying to find a way to give it that like texture, you maybe use some like cross hatching and stuff you can see kind of in the feet and the hands when we do the character card, that you can kind of see that gives it a little bit of texture so that it doesn't just kind of look like a billowy gray ball. I wanted it to look like, you know, a rock monster. And so that was something that I had to execute. That obviously the other characters are not rock people, so I didn't get to feature that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of something different, obviously, on this character than the other characters. That was something that kind of brought into the gamut.
Excellent. Okay, cool, man. All right, well, I appreciate that. This was a little bit, as this goes on, it gets a little easier to talk about because we're starting to get in a groove here and the project's kind of becoming a matter of just doing. And so, yeah, all right. Don't know if there's much else to say about Mama right now, but I sure did enjoy this one, and it fits well into the world.
Yeah.
Moving along to the music.
Hey, John.
Huh?
Oh, hi.
You're here?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here for a little bit yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We just did the voiceover for the other part of this, didn't we?
Right, yeah, and I haven't left yet. We still got to do yours.
Well, I just woke up.
Okay, well, good morning. So we're talking about the music for Mama now, and kind of wanted to get what your inspiration was on that.
So my inspiration on the Mama music went through a couple of different things. I didn't know if I wanted to give her something with some girth and some funk and some just some sway, you know, some stuff that make you swat the flies.
Yeah.
You know, but every time I tried to grab the bass 6 guitar, because I knew I wanted it to be, you know, thicker, because she's a rock golem, that it was just kind of feeling forced.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, if you notice, the theme of this project for me is trying to find what fits and not what's forced.
Right.
So I grabbed that bass 6 and I plugged around with it for a while, trying to come up with different riff ideas. And so in order to stay coherent, to the average listener, you won't be able to tell, but I kept it to the same key. Well, we'll get into that in a minute when we talk about the execution. But so I kind of wanted to start there with the bass, and then I wanted to add some exotic sounds to it. So I went through my virtual instrument library and found, you know, an Indian instrument called a tempura. I've never heard of the thing really because I'm from Southern Illinois, but I like the twang it had to it, you know, made me think it's like beaded curtains or something.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And then you got some djembe action in there, some hand drum stuff going on. And so the reason I picked that stuff is to add this level of the gentle giant, you know, that was the gentle part stacked on top of the giant part, which is the kind of the bass run. So that was a little bit of the inspiration from that, was like looking at what you drew and then trying to see, okay, there's a mystical element. So that's where the East Indian instrument comes in. And then the hand drum kind of adds that mystical vibe. And then the bass guitar is the rock part of the golem.
Yeah. So that would kind of fall in line too with like what some of the tools you were using would be.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I jumped the gun and did kind of discuss that. This one I leaned a little more heavily on the virtual instruments than I did the actual real instruments. So I did a lot of keyboard work this time around as a MIDI controller for the tempura. I guess that's the food you eat, but
yeah, I don't know. You could have floated that one by me, and I'd have never known, man.
And the drum, the djembe, and then playing the actual bass. So yes, that was the toolkit that I used, and again, I just relied on that bass 6, and then I relied on my MIDI controller. You know, my M Audio MIDI controller.
Yeah. So with using some of the different tools than you typically did with the other guys, was there any kind of like, I don't know, like challenges or anything that came up in Mama's project that kind of stretched you?
First of all, I'm still terrible at the keyboard. Even though that's where I started, I haven't really honestly devoted time to it in a long, long time until we started doing stuff. So my skills are slowly coming back with that. So it takes me a minute to get acclimated to that now, since I've been playing guitar primarily and drums secondarily for eons now. So that's always a struggle, getting into the mode of being a keyboard style player. So that presents itself. And then like playing something like the hand drum without the actual drum is weird, and trying to learn the keys that are associated with it makes it just awkward. It's just always awkward. No matter how you try to prepare yourself, it's just weird every single time. Playing drums on a keyboard just doesn't compute.
Yeah.
Now, the bass was easy during the execution with that, in order, like I had mentioned just previously, to keep it coherent with everything that's going on. I'm actually using the same pentatonic scale.
Oh.
So that was easy, but I wanted to do that so it ties into the same musical scale being used for all 3 of these character cards that we've seen to this point, or well, 2 that we've seen, third one we're getting ready to see. So that kind of drew it all together.
All right, nice.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah, that was it.
We've talked about the art that's associated with that mama.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that music that's associated with that there mama.
Mm-hmm.
I proved that I'm a redneck, and I mainly know the names of foods from foreign places that I intermix with the instruments there. Yeah. And then, we're getting ready to show you that character card. Enjoy the music from Mama. Enjoy the character card from Mama. And you know where to catch us. On them Mondays, on them Wednesdays, and on them Fridays, baby. We upload the world building, the vlog, which will turn into something besides just me one of these days. And then we got them chat casts. Until next time, peace.